Hey everyone, I am Yham, and today we will be reacting to Teresa's escape from brutal satanic cult. So I'm so excited to react to this because it's not that I don't believe about cult, but it's just like dito kasi sa Pilipinas naniniwala pa rin tayo sa religion natin like Catholic, Islam, and so forth. So I'm just so excited to see if totoo ba talagang may cult. And although I believe na meron naman totoong cult, it's just like, ano yung feeling ng pag nasa isang cult ka, ganon. So, tingnan natin kung totoo ba talagang may ganito. So, without further ado, let's get into the video.
To describe this story as horrifying would be an understatement. And if that sounds like a warning, then that's exactly what it's meant to be. It deals with the sexual abuse of children by satanic cults. And not only that, human sacrifices as well. We started investigating these secret satanic cults when a British Member of Parliament linked them with the ritual murder of children. In this day and age, it sounded too far-fetched, as did suggestions that the same thing might be happening in Australia. But then we met Theresa. She's only 15, and for 12 of those years, she's been the victim of relentless depravity. Theresa's story is both shocking and compelling, yet it's a story she's anxious to tell. But again, we should warn you that parts of this report may be distressing.
Friends with family and strangers and
Oh my God,
my
she's so
family
pretty.
used to rape me. Make me abort the babies I had.
It would be hard to imagine more misery and suffering than what Theresa says she's had to endure.
And us kids would be made to do things with the adults and the animals. And then a sacrifice would happen.
The sacrifice? Were these
So it's
animal
true.
sacrifices?
And all them people.
On what scale do you think this was happening?
Enormous, far beyond what we've ever heard of here before.
Theresa's mother, Bridget.
You're talking about mass murder.
Yes, on a scale that this country's never heard of before. Like the old people's homes.
For the first time, Theresa is learning what it's like to live with love instead of fear. In this quiet English village, with the help of her mother, she's slowly repairing her broken life. Theresa is now 15, but at the age of 2, she was left in the care of this woman, the grandma she called Nan. And that, she says, is when her torment started.
So iniwan siya ng mother
Who was the
niya
leader?
sa
Who was the
grandma?
boss
Grandma niya.
of the cult?
At home it was my nan.
Your nan made you have sex with animals.
Yeah,
What? Oh my God.
like goats and donkeys.
What?
The story of Theresa is a story almost too horrible to recount. A case of child abuse that goes well beyond the kind of things we normally associate with the abuse of children. In 27 years of reporting, it has to be one of the most painful stories I have ever had to tell.
How many men or how many people would have sex with you?
What, at one time?
Yes.
But everyone who was there, which must have been about 20. You know, from 10 to 20
Yeah.
people.
Oh my God.
If it was a big ceremony, it used to be 30.
What would your grandma be doing when these men were forcing themselves on you?
Oh my
Usually
God,
laughing.
I can't. Oh my God. Woo.
Or smiling.
Oh my gosh.
Or
These
having
people are
sex
so
with
disgusting.
another man. Or other men.
A chronicle of debauchery and depravity so horrific it's hard to believe. You have to ask yourself, could Theresa be just making it up?
No,
I don't think so.
I know what's true and what's not.
Yeah, she looked
I
traumatic.
don't know what I saw.
Children don't make up elaborate lies that this would have to be if it was a lie, which I know it is not. It isn't.
This couldn't be a terrible dream, a nightmare that you're reliving.
No,
I can't believe
It's no
this.
dream.
Oh my God.
it's a nightmare, and it's not one you can wake up from.
Oh my God.
It's there all the time.
This really happened, you're quite sure of that?
Yeah.
The police don't think Theresa made up a story. Some of the cult members are to stand trial. 5 men have been charged with rape. As for Nan, the grandmother, she's 61 and lives in this
Oh my
council
God,
flat
look
in
at
South
her.
London. She's charged on 7 counts of aiding and abetting rape and 2 counts of performing abortions on Theresa.
Oh my God.
If you're finding this hard to believe, so did I at first. But then there are the medical reports. Evidence of sustained sexual abuse.
So it's
And
true.
there's this. A statement prepared for 60 Minutes by Theresa's psychiatrist. It says, in my opinion, Theresa's account is not the product of a psychotic illness, nor the figment of a fertile imagination. I believe her to be telling the truth.
I know what's true and what's not.
We also took Theresa's story to this man, therapist Ray Wire. He reads a transcript of our interview and listens to her voice.
It's no dream.
Few people, if any, in Britain have counselled as many victims of satanic abuse or Satanists themselves as Ray Wire has. If there is an expert on satanic cults, it would have to be him.
Do you believe Theresa's story?
I believe
100%.
Teresa's story. It's exactly the same story as I've heard from men who says they've done it.
Oh, so
You've dealt
marami
with
na
other
pala
cases like
talagang,
hers?
Yes.
ano,
21 cases like hers, he says,
cases.
in the
Marami
past
ng
2 years
cases.
alone.
Themes like they were put in boxes with spiders and
It's
worms,
just like people
where they were
don't
trapped
believe
in
them, I
fear,
guess.
where there was a high use of excrement and urine, where there was talk of human sacrifice.
Take just one of those rituals, putting children in boxes with spiders and worms. Now, listen to what Theresa told her mother.
And they had a coffin-like box that children were put in with spiders and snakes and the lid shut
Ew.
and left in there.
Ew, gross.
I would have come out deranged. I could not have coped with that mentally at all.
Oh
You
my
have
God.
evidence to back up stories like Teresa's, that this is really happening?
Well, we have
Oh, it
that
is
age
really
of
happening.
child, 6, 5 and 4, giving information that ties up with Theresa. How do those children know? How do those children able to describe rituals, to talk about ceremonies, to talk about sacrificing animals? How do those children know?
Nightmares,
True.
imagining it?
You can't imagine those things at 3 and 4 years old, and you also don't have the evidence of anal sex abuse and oral sex abuse and all that other abuse that clearly those children have experienced and endured.
During these ceremonies, was Satan, the devil, ever referred to?
He was called Lucifer.
Oh my God.
What did they say about the devil, about Lucifer?
Nakikita mo talaga sa mukha niya yung,
killing the
alam mo
people,
yun, yung
making
nahihirapan
happy.
siyang,
Sacrifices
nahihirapan talaga
to
siya.
please the devil. According to Theresa, the worst rituals took place at a house somewhere in the country.
It was big, you know, expensive. From the front, it looked like a castle. You know, it had a long drive and big double wooden doors.
Do you think they were rich people then?
Of course,
Very
I
rich.
guess so.
Now, where was this big house somewhere in the country? Theresa says she can't take the police there because the Satanists made sure she'd never know how to find it.
Aba,
Theresa was
pinapadrag
always
sila bago
drugged,
sila dinadala sa
or
kung saan
on
yun.
a couple of occasions she said she was knocked out, so that she never fully knew the route.
Kaya pinapatulog
There was
sila.
a tramp who was brought in once, you know, and he was killed. He was cut from his throat down to his stomach, and they ate him, or bits of him.
They killed a man at a ceremony
Yeah,
in front of you.
yeah, in front of all of them,
Oh my
all
God.
of us.
Did the tramp, did this man,
Imagine how traumatizing it is, guys. Oh my God, I
No,
cannot.
I think he was, you know, drunk or something. He seemed really dopey. He was laughing a lot when he was brought in. And he started screaming
See?
when they began to cut.
Pinapadrag
After
sila o
one,
pinapatulog sila
you know,
bago
he
sila
died.
dalhin kung saan man.
I'd seen a few killings before then. Although I wasn't used to it, you know, that was the worst one. I really don't know what I thought. I suppose I thought, thank God it's not me.
let me get this right now. Are you saying that you saw more than one person killed in that house?
Yeah. I've seen loads of babies killed there. Just newborn babies,
Oh my
or
God.
aborted ones which were only small. You
So,
know,
totoo,
4-year-olds.
talagang sinasacrifice nila yung mga babies.
Any
Oh my
age, really.
God.
Did they ever say they might kill you?
They threatened to kill my little girl, who, when I left, was still at the house.
A friend?
Huh?
What little girl?
My little girl, Alex. She's about 4 now.
May anak siya?
You mean you had a child?
Yeah,
How old were you when you had that child?
11.
Oh my God.
Motherhood at the age of 11. But from what Theresa told her mother, it wasn't the only pregnancy.
What?
We think that's
Oh my
7
God.
times.
That is so traumatizing.
It's hard to say. It was constantly happening from the time she was capable of being pregnant.
What happened to the pregnancies, to the babies?
Oh my God.
They were aborted by my nan or by one of the doctors at the house.
There were doctors there at that house?
Yeah, there was 2, I think. Yeah, and a nurse.
What would
Yeah,
happen
these people are rich,
to the
guys,
fetuses, the
so
unborn
what do you
babies?
expect?
They used to be taken away most of the time, and one time baby was taken out of me and then killed in front of me
Oh my God.
because it was still alive.
And then, what would happen?
Well, after they killed it, they would eat it.
She what?
But
She
we
was...
were also made to eat it.
You were made to eat your own fetus.
Yeah.
Ew.
Who made you do this?
My nan.
Oh my God.
You'd think the
That
one
is
person
so
in the world you could
disgusting,
leave
guys.
a little
Oh
girl
my-
with would be Grandma. Someone to give her love and protect her from harm. Yet,
True.
when Theresa was left to live with her grandmother, they might as well have handed her to the devil himself.
Grandmothers, and the vision it conjures up for you, a sweet old lady, grey hair, rosy cheeks, holding her arms out to lovely grandchildren. And it was exactly the reverse.
But why was Theresa living with Nan in the first place and not with her mother?
When my first marriage broke up, I took the children with me, couldn't cope. So I gave them to their father, who in turn moved to his mother's. And
To
when
Nan's place?
Yeah. And when he left the Nan's place, he left the children there.
How do you feel now towards her grandma and the other people who did all those things to your daughter?
They disgust me.
Yeah,
They are
true.
the worst form of life this earth has had the misfortune to create. Vile.
Did you ever try to run away? You must have been frightened.
A couple of times I did, but my uncle, he caught me and brought me back.
Going to the police? Did that occur to you?
No. I thought it was normal, you know, even though I didn't like it. You know, I mean, you don't like to eat greens, but you know, somehow I thought it was just her being called to be kind or something like that.
She said to me it was something that everybody did, she thought, you know, like you don't like going to school or the dentist, you don't like going to black masses.
It was never any different. I didn't have nothing to compare it to.
All part of life, Theresa thought. Even a miscarriage one day at school.
Yeah, I asked the teacher if I could go to the toilet, and she allowed me out. I went into the toilet and the baby was in my knickers. And I thought it was dead, but it wasn't. It was still moving.
Oh my
Yet no one at school knew,
No,
saw anything.
no. Or if they did, they didn't say. She was treated for a high temperature, no fever, nothing more.
What did she do with the baby?
She kept her for a while because she was frightened that they'd use the child as part of the rituals. So she turned a pencil case into a little coffin. Apparently she put roses in to make her smell sweet. A letter with her. Pictures of herself and her brother. A picture of me.
And then I put it down the chute because I didn't want my nan to get it.
As we said earlier, the police have already charged some members of the cult, and we know they're also investigating Theresa's accounts of those ritual killings. If there were as many as she told us, then the Satanists had a problem. How did they get rid of the bodies?
They had a tub, you know, pretty big, I don't know. A very big tub, and they used to put the bodies and bones in there. And it used to go like, you know, fizzy and that. And then there was nothing left. Well, there didn't seem to be, but when they cleared it out, there used to be a sludge at the bottom.
Teresa's story, her account, doesn't really surprise you.
It doesn't surprise me in the light of satanic abuse now.
Do you get frustrated with people who just won't accept that these things do happen?
Yes, because I've worked with murderers in prisons for years. Not that long ago, a boy was found in a forest in southern England without a head. We have no doubts that men can do that. And yet when we start talking about men within Satanism
No one
who
believes it.
actually believe in evil and it's the right to express evil, we suddenly have a doubt.
As I was leaving Teresa's place, she handed me this note. It's addressed to the film crew. She says, "Thanks for bothering to help kids like me. I hope it helps." On the other side, there's a poem Theresa made up while she was staying at Nan's place. She calls it Nothing Left.
Nothing left. I would scream, but there is no voice left. I would cry, but there are no tears left.
Oh my
I'd fight, but there is no strength left.
That was just part of our investigation of Satanism in Britain. We're also gathering evidence about the activities of such cults here in Australia.
Oh my God, guys. I really don't know kung ano yung magiging reaction ko sa napanood ko. Sobrang ang morbid niya. I can't imagine how traumatizing it is for that girl. Tama yung sinabi ni Ray kasi minsan we kinda believe na meron talagang cult, but pag nasa point na tayo na andun na meron ng evidence, like there is really a cult, pag meron ng witness na meron nga talagang cult, parang hindi tayo naniniwala. Although, alam talaga natin na meron but hindi lang talaga natin tinatanggap. I guess kasi hindi natin tinatanggap na meron talagang ganitong klaseng tao. Like, these kind of people are so morbid. They are definitely evil. Like, 100% evil, guys. Grabe, like, oh my God, I cannot even talk kasi sobrang nagulat talaga ako na meron pala talagang ganun. Meron pala talagang ganito ka-morbid na nangyayari sa mundo. And it's scary. It's super scary na kids, babies are being sacrificed. I know that video is like years ago, but still, I know 100% na until now, cults are still there. So, kahit saan tayo pumunta, either US, UK, Australia, or wherever it is, even dito sa Philippines, I believe na meron talaga meron talaga, imposibleng wala. Kasi, evil is just around the corner, guys. I just hope this Teresa, kung asa man siya ngayon, kung anong ginagawa niya, I wish her well, na sana nakamove on na siya for everything that happened to her. I know it's so traumatizing and it's just like, sabi niya nga, it's a nightmare. So, sana lang naka-move on na siya. Sana lang nakalimot na siya. If you want more of my reaction videos, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on my channel, guys. And please hit that notification bell for more updates. And don't forget to follow me on my social media account. I will link it down below and I will post it in the screen, guys, so you can go and follow me. And let's be friends. So, yeah.